Delay effects have been used in productions around the world for decades. For some, it is a way to add width, movement, and a larger-than-life feel to vocals and other instruments. For others, it is part of a signature guitar sound. Today, we're having the pleasure of checking out a plugin emulation of a unit that did both, Echorec. Hi everyone and welcome, my name is ThomC and today we're going to be taking a look at Echorec by Pulsar Audio. Make sure you check out my video of Mew, the Vari compressor that was previously reviewed on this channel and that's also made by Pulsar Audio. Echorec is the emulation of the Binson Echorec 2 that was used by artists such as David Gilmour, Jimmy Page and many others. In this video we'll be taking a look at the Echorec on separate sources and in context. Let's check it out. You and I, a delicate rise, I'll never feel. Right, this is the plugin's user interface, and at the top of the plugin we've got the toolbar with the undo and redo buttons. We've got left and right arrows for presets, and when you open the presets menu you've got classic, drum, effects, Floydish, guitar and vocal, and then you can delete the presets if you want to. You can move and rename them, you can set them as default, open the presets directory or restore the factory presets. You can also save and save as, and you can also compare different settings from A to B. And then on the right we've got different options with oversampling, show the help balloons, you've got the website, the online support and the user manuals, you've got the company socials, and you've got the version right there. At the top of the plugin we've got the disc, and you can do what is called disc breaking. By clicking on the disc, what will happen is that you will bring modulation to the signal. You can either do that by clicking shortly on the disc, or you can have longer modulation by clicking and holding and dragging it to the edge of the disc to have more modulation. Now in the center of the plugin we've got what is called the Magic Eye, and it's an EM81 vacuum tube emulation. The brighter the tube gets and the more saturation is applied to the signal. So you've actually got a separate saturation circuit that can be used independently from the rest of the plugin, so without delay. On the left of the plugin we've got the mix knob that allows you to go from the unprocessed signal to the processed signal. Then in the middle we've got the feedback control that can go to self-oscillation if you actually push it more, and we'll take a look at that in the demo. Then you've got the delays with the different tape heads, and if you actually change it you'll see that the tape heads change on the plugin, on the UI of the plugin. So you basically have different delay patterns, and if you set it to off, the tube saturation will still process the signal. So this is pretty useful and we'll take a look at that as well. Then we've got the disc speed from low to fast, and you can either sync it or unsync it, and you've got a tap tempo control there. You've got in the middle an on and off switch, and by the way, regarding the disc speed, it's actually a feature that's been added and that's not in the original unit. So on the right we've got the drive knob that actually allows you to saturate the signal. Then we've got a mode knob, and you've got three modes to choose from. We've got the echo mode, that is the standard slapback mode with one repetition, and in that mode the feedback control doesn't work. And then in the middle we've got the rip mode, which is actually the classic feedback delay that was most used by Pink Floyd in the 70s. And then on the right we've got the swell mode, that is a bit like the rip mode, but the output is the sum of all four reed heads and it's independent from the delay knob, and it's pretty useful if you want to have a roomy sound from it. Then we've got a volume knob that allows you to control the volume of the effect. We've got a tone knob that goes from bass to treble, so from darker to brighter delays. And then we've got the condition knob with three different modes again, used, good and mint. So basically what they did is that they modeled three units. The mint unit was brand new, the good is slightly used, and the used one, the vacuum tubes are worn out and the magnetic heads are misadjusted, resulting in more grit and more modulation. And then we've got the stereo drift that adds a slight delay between the left and right channels, allowing you to have that stereo effect. In this first example, we'll be listening to drums, and the drums are Stephen Slate Drums 5.5. And in this case, I've actually automated the disc speed going from faster to slow. So now we'll be listening to some drums again, and I've automated the delays knob in this case, and I'll be clicking on it and you'll see the tape heads, the reed heads show up whenever I click on it, so you'll see which heads are used and you'll hear the different patterns. In the next example, we'll be listening to the saturation module of the unit, and you'll notice the mix knob and the drive knob being automated. And also at the end of the example, you'll hear the plugin being bypassed and then volume matched with the effect. Now we'll be listening to an electric piano, the Mark 178 from the Keysuite bundle by UVI, and we'll be comparing the three different condition modes from mint to used and listen to the change in texture of the sound. And in this example, we'll be listening to the slapback mode or the echo mode on the electric piano as well. In the next example, I've automated the feedback and drive controls in order to give a pad-like feel to the electric piano. I've set it to swell mode, and I've also actually used the disc breaking feature by clicking on the disc in order to give more modulation to the sound. In the next example, we'll be listening to a bass line from the SEM by Arturia, and I've used the mix knob with quite a bit of feedback and quite a bit of drive, and I've also used the rip mode, and also I've used the stereo drift in order to give a bit of a stereo image to the sound. Right, in the next example, we'll be listening to the SEM again, and in this case, I've used a bit of a Radiohead-like sound, automating the mix, feedback, and drive knobs. The condition is mint to actually keep the high end or the hi-fi-ness of the sound, and also I've set it to swell mode in this case. So yeah, I really like the sound of the Echorec on synths, but it really shines on guitar as well. And in this case, I've automated the feedback control. I've set it to swell and the condition is used. I've also used the tone knob to actually add a bit of brightness to the repeats. Let's listen to it. So yeah, beautiful, gritty and modulated sound. And again, I've used the disc breaking feature. So in the next one, we'll be listening to the echo mode on an electric guitar again. And in this case, I've automated the mix knob going from dry to wet. Right, in the next example, I've used a Pink Floyd preset, which is the Run Like Hell intro preset, and you probably know where that comes from. And in this case, you'll hear the different pattern of the delay. Echorec look works really well on vocals. So here's a song of mine called Chemistry. You'll hear Echorec on my voice. I've automated the delay send, the feedback, and also changed the delay pattern with the delays knob to bring variations. This is a chemistry that I can't explain and that science cannot steal. This is not a chemistry that anyone's allowed to take from me. From me. From me. I remember when I started working on Cubase and having that very clean stereo delay that's built in the DAW. And you know, as time went by, manufacturers would come up with plugins that would add modulation or saturation or more complex filtering to delay effects. And Echorec is the emulation of a very characterful unit. I've not had the chance to try out the real thing, but what I can say is that it's very gritty and it also has a lot of modulation built into it. It's not clean, and that's the kind of thing that I like in a delay sound. So if you like tape delays, if you like delays that add color to your sound, then you will like this one. And I definitely do. It could actually be one of my go-tos, just like the Mu by Pulsar Audio is. The Mu is actually the emulation of a very well-known Mu compressor that I've reviewed on this channel. And to me, these guys keep getting it right, and I'm really impatient to see what they've got in store for us. So you guys sometimes ask me about alternatives to plugins that I review. And in this case, I can think of Dirty Delay by Metric Halo or Echoes by Nomad Factory. And I don't see that one being used that often. I don't see people talking about it that much, but it's actually on almost every one of my projects. And another one that I can think of is Plexi Tape by Arturia, and that one sounds amazing. So these are actually delays that emulate other units, but they're also characterful delays. And if you'd like me to make a video maybe comparing different characterful delays that I like, I would love to do that. If you've tried out other emulations of this particular unit, let me know in the comment below what you think about those. So if you like this plugin, go and try it out for yourself. The links will be in the description below. So if you want to support me, don't hesitate to buy it through the affiliate links in the description. And also, if you want to, don't hesitate to add some of my songs to your Spotify playlists or share this video. That'd be lovely. Thank you very much, guys, for watching this video, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.